moment we've all been waiting for is finally here. Tesla's Cybercabs are officially rolling off production lines in Texas. Dedicated two-seater autonomous vehicle, no steering wheel, no pedals, specifically designed from the ground up for one purpose: autonomy. This is what the future of transportation globally looks like. And this bad boy right here on screen, the very first Cybercab to roll off a production line. A historic moment. People have no idea what's around the corner. What's soon going to be around every corner on the planet, arriving within a minute and costing approximately nothing relative to human-driven transport as a service. Back in 2019, when I first started this channel, the whole reason behind it was that I was seeing things, pieces of the puzzle, starting to fall into place, specifically around autonomy, that the rest of the world seemed to be completely ignoring. It's been a long time coming. So today, I'm going to be channeling my 2019 self and explaining in detail my entire thesis around why the race is already over before it's even begun. Why Tesla will dominate autonomy, which, by the way, might explain why I've been buying Tesla stock relentlessly for a literal decade and haven't sold a single share. And I'll even explain how I could be wrong. That's probably going to be a pretty short section. Let's start at the top. Cybercab production is now officially underway at Giga Texas. And Tesla has been building toward this moment for a literal decade. Back in July 2016, Elon Musk posted on the Tesla website Master Plan Part 2, in which he laid out Tesla's long-term vision. The most important piece was autonomy, to be achieved through massive fleet learning. This massive fleet learning, direct quote from Elon Musk, has resulted in the first key point to my thesis: the data and software advantage Tesla has built. Today, Tesla's global fleet sits at roughly 10 million vehicles, and it's growing fast. Think about that. 10 million vehicles, each one collecting real-world data to train and improve FSD. Data in, capability and safety out. No other company has or can realistically collect anything close to this volume of essential real-world driving data. And that's before you even count Tesla's massive historical archive. What would it actually take for any other company to replicate this data and training flywheel? Actually think about it. They would need to have leadership with the balls to fully commit. Good luck with that. Build new AI data teams and recruit thousands of top AI engineers. Completely redesign their vehicles. Develop advanced data collection and vehicle connectivity. Prototype, test and validate everything. Secure new supply chain. Retool production lines. Manufacture and sell, wait for it, 10 million vehicles, each with roughly $2,000, maybe closer to $3,000 in extra expense due to the cameras, electronics, and the computer. Build massive data pipelines and AI/data labeling systems to automate this whole flywheel, as much of it as possible, and pour billions into AI training compute. Let that sink in. This isn't just slap some cameras on existing cars you're already producing. It requires a fundamental transformation into a true software, AI-first company with deep hardware, software, and manufacturing vertical integration. Can you honestly imagine a dinosaur like VW or Toyota pulling off that kind of transformation? If you can, you must be high. PSA, some for me. And even if they tried, how many years would it take? And where would Tesla be by then? The odds of any auto company being both willing and able to do this is approximately zero. And remember, we're just talking about the data necessary to train the software to actually be capable of autonomy. The hardware cost alone, $2,000 times 10 million vehicles, that's a $20 billion investment just to collect the data. Then there's billions more for the AI training compute. Good luck. And thanks to this insane real-world data flywheel, Tesla has trained its software to actually drive, period. Just like a human learns how to drive, period. Humans don't relearn driving every time we leave our neighborhoods, cities, states, or even leave our country. At most, you adapt to a few local rules or signs. In a foreign country with a different language, obviously you need to speak the language too. But if you understand fundamentally how to drive a vehicle, that knowledge applies broadly regardless of where on earth you are driving, with just a tiny bit of localized adjustment. The first time I drove in a foreign country, it was on the opposite side of the road to what I was used to driving. It took me all of 30 seconds to adjust because I know how to drive, period. This is generalized knowledge. People don't learn how to drive in condition A, on street A, in city A, in country A. They learn how to drive, period. And Tesla's FSD has learned the exact same thing. It knows how to drive, period. And that's what separates Tesla from its so-called robotaxi competition. Everyone else, companies like Waymo, are stuck with narrow, brittle, non-generalized software. They have to compensate for this with mountains of expensive sensors. The brain of their vehicles is too small to work with pure vision, so it needs help. This results in them requiring hyper-detailed pre-mapped areas, constant hand-holding and guardrails. These are crippling disadvantages in cost, scale, and capability. Number 2, vehicle costs. It's already game over just on the data and software side. But Tesla isn't just untouchable there. I'm now going to read to you the complete list of companies profitably producing EVs at scale on Earth today. Number 1, Tesla. That's the whole list. I'm not joking. Wait, what's that? Oh, wait. Oh, you think BYD's pure EV business is profitable as well? Brother, please. BYD doesn't break out pure EV profitability. They conveniently bundle together their real EVs with their trans EVs, which have an internal combustion engine vehicle plus a vibrator-sized battery, and also bundle in their presumably extremely profitable battery cell supply business into the one lumped up group in their financial reports. In my opinion, the battery business is carrying the company, and the hybrids are masking what is almost certainly a loss-making pure EV business. I challenge anyone to prove me wrong, or better yet, maybe BYD could prove me wrong by separately reporting their pure EV numbers. Curious they don't already do that, isn't it? Tesla, on the other hand, has a massive manufacturing cost advantage and never stops innovating. Their costs keep dropping, and they pass those on. That's why the Model Y is the most dominant vehicle on the planet. Tesla products offer such insane value that if you can afford a Model Y or Model 3, it's the obvious, actually only choice. That's why consumers have spent more money on the Model Y than any other vehicle on Earth for 3 years running, and why Tesla's the only company making money selling, because they don't have to compete with Tesla. Everyone else does, and in doing so, they're losing money trying to keep moving products. Keep this cost point in mind for later in the video. Now Tesla has just started production of the Cybercab, which is a purpose-built autonomous vehicle designed from the ground up to be a robotaxi, not for personal ownership. And by stripping out everything a robotaxi doesn't need, Tesla has massively reduced their manufacturing costs. And they've completely reinvented the vehicle manufacturing process. They call it the unboxed system, a modular manufacturing process to dramatically reduce costs even further. There's a few advantages to this new system. It will be much lower cost to produce. My personal guess, maybe 25+% lower cost to produce than say a Model 3 today. For starters, ultimately getting closer to 50% lower cost. It's not just that though. It's also going to be much faster to produce at scale, and will be able to be produced out of a much smaller factory footprint. Smaller, faster, cheaper. It sounds like the inverse of a GigaChat. I'm not going to explain that. Tesla is already legally operating fully autonomous Model Ys today, which they're manufacturing for, call it $35,000 per vehicle. And you want to know how much it costs companies like Waymo to get a fully autonomous vehicle on the road? I'll give you a hint. It starts with a 1 and has an extra digit on the price tag. Tesla's vertical integration and manufacturing expertise is a massive advantage. The odds of Waymo or anyone else suddenly matching Tesla's costs, approximately 0. So let's recap so far. Number 1, no one has Tesla's data or software advantage. No one has Tesla's manufacturing cost advantage. And that's before Cybercab enters production. Number 3, Tesla's scale and speed. We've already established that it's game over twice, but we're not done. Tesla's the only company on Earth with global production capacity for around 2 million autonomous capable vehicles right now, and Cybercab production has only just begun. Even if a competitor magically hit all the previous catch-up to Tesla buttons, somehow getting the data and the software advantage, matching their costs, they're still cooked because they cannot manufacture vehicles that are capable of autonomy, even close to the same speed and scale as Tesla. If you want to deploy 1 million robotaxis faster than Tesla, you're going to need a magic button for that too. And don't forget about Tesla's existing scale, the existing fleet approaching 10 million vehicles. Most of these vehicles can become part or full-time robotaxis with a simple over-the-air software update. These vehicles can perfectly supplement a dedicated Tesla-owned Cybercab fleet in any city on the planet with regulatory approval. It's very important to understand that about 90% of the trips taken today in an Uber or a taxi are just 1 to 2 passengers, and most of those are just one passenger. In the situations where you need more than 2 passengers in the trip, this is where Tesla's existing fleet of vehicles, Model 3, Model Y, even Model S and X, and Cybertrucks can supplement the fleet. Or you could just order 2 or 3 Cybercabs. How exactly do you compete with Tesla's existing fleet? Call it 10 million vehicles globally today. If you want to launch your own Robotaxi service, what matters to customers for a real, legal, live Robotaxi service? Meaning it's safe, otherwise it wouldn't be legal, and it's live, meaning you can actually use it. There's only 2 things that matter. 1, wait times, and 2, cost. Safety is table stakes. Not safe, it's not operating. This is all that matters. Wait times and cost. How much does it cost per mile, and how long do I have to wait? Autonomous transport at scale becomes like a utility, like your home broadband internet, electricity, or water service. If it works reliably, great. What does it cost? And as we've discussed, Tesla has a real and will keep and maintain and possibly extend a meaningful cost advantage that translates directly into a lower price per mile or customers. The limiting factor here is that if costs drop too low, wait times will blow out. But there is a simple fix. Flood the streets with more vehicles. Saturate a market. And Tesla can do exactly that. They can strategically target a major city with just a few days or at most weeks of dedicated Cybercab production and wait times at most 1 to maybe 3 minutes. At that point, you can drive the cost down as low as you reasonably wish. And Tesla's cost advantage is so great that they'll be able to offer a price per mile so far below any other company trying to compete with them with an autonomous vehicle service that for said company to compete with Tesla's cost per mile, they would need to drive their cost down so much that they're losing so much money per mile that the question then becomes, why are you still even trying? Back to the earlier point, listed companies today profitably producing EVs on the planet, it's just Tesla. Because they're trying to compete with Tesla's cost. And they can't, so they just have to sell their vehicles for losses to keep selling them. We're going to see round 2 with autonomy. Cost drives adoption. If users adopt your service and you can scale rapidly and others can't, and even if they could, they can't match your cost, bro, how do you think this plays out? Now, here's a question. How could I be wrong? Assuming no magic catch-up to Tesla buttons exist, I do not see how I am wrong, how I could possibly be wrong. And I know that sounds arrogant, but I challenge anyone to explain to me, without invoking the use of magic buttons, how in reasonable time a company could match Tesla on all of their game-breaking, GG, it's over, areas in which they already lead. Tesla's data and software advantage. Remember, no magic button. Tesla's hardware cost advantage. Again, no magic buttons. Tesla's scale and manufacturing speed advantage. And Tesla's existing fleet of give or take roughly 10 million and growing autonomous capable vehicles. Explain in detail how any of this could be done, let alone all of it. Remember, you don't just need to achieve one of these things, but all of them. Otherwise, you're still cooked. I'll actually throw you a bone and help you out here, okay? A smart person might say, well, eventually AI will become so good that hardly any data will even be needed to solve autonomy. And guess what? That's actually true, but it's irrelevant. The question is, how long does it take to get to that point? And before that occurs, how widely does Tesla's fleet scale? How dominant does their market share become? How much of a network effect will we see? If Tesla has millions of vehicles globally before autonomy is easy, what does it matter? What are you going to do? How are you going to undo Tesla's millions-strong fleet of already operating robotaxis? If everything's identical, the only way you could start eating into Tesla's market share at this point with your equally capable software and equally short wait times, which would require just astronomical scale, would be on cost. But if you can't catch up to their cost advantage, if you try and match them on cost and then exceed them on cost, even lower per mile, you just got to lose so much money you go bankrupt. Now, again, I will concede the first point. Eventually, autonomy is likely to become trivially simple to solve. But that's going to take time. And while that's taking time, Tesla's going to be scaling their fleet of robotaxis around the world. And in the end, over the long term, the software is not what matters in determining the ultimate winner. Assume everyone has equally capable autonomy. Then what matters? 1, cost. 2, wait times. 3, nothing else. If you can't join the dots at this point, I just wish to offer my sincere condolences. Cybercab is the culmination of a decade plus of ballsy, big brain decisions, great vision, and incredible execution. The race is already over, just as it begins. Now we just sit back and watch it play out. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has been part of my daily health protocol for almost half a decade. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and helps me fill in nutritional gaps while supporting energy, digestion, and immune function. It also has prebiotics and probiotics to promote gut health. I take my health very seriously, and so should you. Try AG1 today by visiting drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment and enjoy a free welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2 and AG1 travel packs. That's drinkag1.com/SMR.